ver.
Bueno, ¿cómo van?
This story follows an indie film director named Oliver, who unexpectedly stumbles across his stepsister's explicit video on an adult site. Yeah, you heard right, a family reunion nobody asked for. Having not seen her for years, he's strangely captivated, and curiosity gets the best of him, prompting him to travel all the way to Colombia to find out exactly what drove her to upload that video. Spoiler alert, his intentions might not be as noble as he claims. At this point, Oliver and his girlfriend Karen are already on their way to shoot a documentary. While Karen is asleep or bored to tears by Oliver's pretentious filmmaking, Oliver interviews his friend about his upcoming film. His friend concludes that Oliver's movie is essentially about the loss of innocence, probably tied to his childhood. Of course, Oliver denies this, because denial always makes things better, right? In the middle of the interview, Karen wakes up and interrupts with some trivial complaint because, you know, priorities. Shortly afterward, the couple checks into a hotel. Karen heads for a shower, leaving Oliver alone. Like any dude with spare time and a lack of impulse control, he immediately dives into some adult sites. Yeah, those kinds of sites. Scroll after desperate scroll. Something catches his attention. No, not the usual weird categories, but rather the face of a girl in one of the videos looks oddly familiar. Yikes. The face isn't totally clear, leaving Oliver with lingering doubts, but also a creepy suspicion. Could this girl actually be someone he knows personally? A few awkward minutes later, Oliver reunites with Karen, and, well, after browsing, he predictably wants to get intimate. Typical Oliver. Oliver's curiosity gets the better of him, and after a few days, he decides to head back to his hometown alone. After packing his stuff from the accommodation, he visits a local cafe. Fate, as twisted as ever, intervenes, and Oliver accidentally runs into Aurora, his stepsister, who's hanging out with a friend. Everyone around seems a bit startled when Oliver practically leaps into Aurora's arms, embracing her warmly. Awkward family reunions at their finest. Aurora introduces Oliver to her best friend Natalie. Clearly, Oliver and Aurora are way beyond your typical sibling relationship. If anything, their body language screams borderline inappropriate. But Aurora, innocent and oblivious as ever, doesn't read into it. After all, they're family, right? Aurora then invites Oliver back to her place. On the way, they catch up, reminiscing about their nostalgic childhood memories. Yet upon arrival, Oliver oddly refuses to enter the house. Before leaving, Aurora kindly hands Oliver her car keys, because lending your ride to the brother you haven't seen in years makes total sense apparently. It's becoming clear Oliver's relationship with Karen is falling apart. When she calls, he brushes her off casually. Ouch. Meanwhile, Aurora and Oliver are getting closer, hanging out frequently. Aurora even offers to cut Oliver's hair. Nothing says innocent bonding like letting your stepsister wield sharp objects near your head, huh? Aurora reveals she'll soon head to college in Colombia and casually mentions her close friendship with a guy named Carlos. Of course, Aurora clarifies that Carlos is merely a friend. Ouch. Friend-zoned hard, buddy. Soon after, Aurora's stepmom, Julia, calls her inside.
¡Ya voy!
Aurora lives with Julia, who graciously invites Oliver to join them for lunch. Julia makes polite small talk, asking how long Oliver plans to stay, but Oliver hasn't figured that out yet. It soon becomes obvious Julia isn't thrilled with Oliver hanging around, especially when he borrows Aurora's car. Clearly, the warm welcome has its limits. The next day, Aurora receives a large, mysterious package. Upon opening it, she finds a CCTV monitor screen displaying a live feed of her own room. Someone's been spying on her every move, every single move. And who's the creep behind this creepy Big Brother stunt? None other than her beloved stepbrother, Oliver. Yeah, Oliver. I know, shocking, right? Turns out, when Aurora was called downstairs by her mother a few days earlier, Oliver secretly planted a hidden camera in her room. Seriously, Oliver, stalker much? Through this hidden camera, Oliver watches Aurora's private moments, studying, working on assignments, sleeping, and oh yeah, until one day, her crush Carlos shows up in her room. Aurora's lying on the floor, casually reading a book, while Carlos just sits there, staring. Then slowly, his hand starts creeping toward her. Real classy, right? Straight up prison vibes. But unfortunately for him, Yeah, she's clearly uncomfortable, and Carlos ends up sitting there like a rejected perv. But seriously, what's Oliver's deal here? Is he trying to protect his stepsister? Or is this just some twisted way to feed his own curiosity? Who knows? What do you think? Drop it in the comments. That night, Aurora heads to a party. When her best friend doesn't show up, she immediately loses interest. Oliver conveniently calls, saying he's at another party nearby and invites her over. Aurora initially declines out of loyalty to her missing friend, but after Carlos tries pulling some overly aggressive moves, Aurora's had enough. She ditches Carlos and heads to Oliver's party. And this isn't just any party. This one's wild. Booze flowing freely, drugs everywhere. It's a scene straight out of Scarface. People casually doing cocaine as if it were chewing gum. Oliver casually hands Aurora a drink, and soon enough they're dancing, partying, having the time of their lives. Then Oliver, fresh from snorting some coke, offers Aurora a line. So, dear viewers, do you think Aurora takes the plunge? Comment below. Is this Oliver's twisted idea of losing innocence? And yep, Aurora dives headfirst into trouble. Goodbye, innocence. Hello, bad decisions. The effects are immediate. Adrenaline racing, the music beating harder, laughter getting louder, boundaries blur, inhibitions drop, and suddenly, they've crossed a line no siblings ever should. Holy boundaries, Batman. Suspicion rising. After the party, Oliver's back at it, spying on Aurora through his hidden camera. He sees Aurora, under the influence and disoriented, wandering around her room in just her underwear. Our innocent little Aurora looks totally lost. Oliver, unable to resist making things even weirder, calls Aurora just for some pointless chit-chat. The next morning, Oliver's showering when Aurora unexpectedly visits. She's distressed, having just argued with Carlos, and asks Oliver for some company. He tells her to wait a bit while he gets ready. But Aurora, bored and curious, starts looking around and stumbles upon a handy cam lying around Oliver's place. Finding a nearby memory card, she loads it and watches. To her shock, it's a disturbing, artsy, and unsettling clip of a naked woman. Yikes. Shortly after the awkward discovery, Aurora and Oliver head out to a cafe. Aurora, still annoyed by Carlos's clinginess, vents her frustrations to Oliver because Oliver, the guy secretly filming her bedroom, is clearly an ideal confidant. Then, in classic Aurora fashion, she casually asks, "By the way, who was the naked girl in your video?" Smooth segue, Aurora, subtle as a sledgehammer. Oliver casually admits the girl was Karen, his girlfriend, claiming it was purely an artistic film experiment. Sure, Oliver, purely artistic. Just like browsing those adult sites was for research purposes. Surprisingly, Aurora admits her ex did something similar, recording their intimate moments and uploading them online. And shocker, she actually enjoyed it. Birds of a feather, I suppose. Nothing says family bonding like sharing amateur film tips. Aurora's rage. Encouraged by this bizarre bond of artistic taste, Oliver decides it's a good idea to reveal his creepy secret. He takes Aurora back to his place and shows her the CCTV footage he secretly recorded of her room. Wow, Oliver, bold strategy. What could possibly go wrong? Now, dear viewers, place your bets. Will Aurora appreciate Oliver's twisted sense of art, or will she absolutely lose it? Comment below. Personally, my money's on Oliver just ruined Thanksgiving forever. Well, unsurprisingly, Aurora does not take it well. She explodes in anger, and rightly so. Who wouldn't lose it after finding out their stepbrother's been spying on them like an FBI agent with zero morals? Oliver, feeling defensive, accuses Aurora of being intrusive herself for snooping around his handycam earlier. Because clearly finding someone's creepy video totally justifies being spied on 24/7. Right, Oliver?
Espera, ¿dónde vas?
Esto no está bien, joder.
The next day, Aurora relaxes poolside with Natalie. Natalie senses something's off. Aurora's visibly troubled and distracted. Ever the concerned friend, or just annoyingly nosy, Natalie probes into Aurora's love life. She asks about the party and her ongoing drama with Carlos. Aurora bluntly states she has zero interest in Carlos. Poor guy just can't catch a break. Unconvinced, Natalie bluntly asks about Aurora's suspiciously close relationship with Oliver. Great, Natalie, because family drama wasn't complicated enough already. Aurora, caught off guard, quickly brushes it off, insisting that Oliver's just family and there's absolutely nothing inappropriate going on. Yeah, Aurora. And I'm sure Oliver's hidden cameras are just part of the family tradition. Later that night, Oliver's back in stalker mode, watching Aurora through the hidden camera. But something's different this time. Aurora seems aware that she's being watched. She casually picks up her phone, making a call. Minutes later, guess who strolls into Aurora's bedroom? Yep, none other than our beloved friend zone pal, Carlos. Oh boy, Aurora's clearly making a statement here. And right on cue, Aurora deliberately gets intimate with Carlos, fully aware Oliver is watching. Oof, that's gotta hurt. Talk about revenge served steaming hot. Meanwhile, poor Oliver's forced to watch this cruel spectacle unfold. And what does our creepy Romeo do? He just sits there, completely devastated and utterly jealous. Congratulations, Oliver, you played yourself. Oliver's jealous rage. Finally unable to handle his burning jealousy, Oliver storms out for some fresh air, probably questioning every life choice he's ever made. Well deserved, if you ask me. The next day, Oliver decides it's a good idea to re-watch last night's disturbing CCTV footage, because clearly he hasn't punished himself enough already. But suddenly, something clicks in Oliver's twisted little brain. As he studies every detail of Aurora's movements, he realizes, brace yourselves, folks, that girl he saw in that adult video days earlier was none other than his own stepsister, Aurora. And apparently, her ex secretly uploaded their explicit video online. Oliver's stepsister is now an internet sensation, family pride at its finest. Real classy stuff here. A few days later, Aurora and friends head out for a picnic in the forest. The vibe's pretty tense, considering Oliver and Aurora haven't exactly patched things up yet. When Aurora steps away into the woods for a private moment, Oliver, whose self-control has officially left the building, can't resist following her. Dude just doesn't quit. He finds Aurora alone in the bushes and, in a stunningly disturbing move, crosses yet another line. Aurora initially resists, but Oliver angrily accuses her of intentionally sleeping with Carlos to make him jealous. Classic Oliver logic, always the victim. Yet, in a plot twist nobody wanted but everyone saw coming, Aurora gives in. And just like that, these two spiral into another forbidden encounter right there in the woods. Wait, hold up. Is it just me, or does that tree look weirdly familiar? Something about its contours. Totally natural, of course. Absolute cinema. But right in the middle of this morally questionable forest adventure, guess who decides to crash the party? Yep. Carlos shows up just in time to catch Oliver and Aurora doing exactly what he's been miserably failing at. Savage. He storms off, and the two barely notice as they upgrade their forest fling to a car, because nothing says romance like fogged up windows and zero legroom. When the adrenaline finally burns out, reality slams into Aurora. Guilt, regret, the whole ugly package. When Aurora gets home, her mom greets her warmly, and by warmly, I mean Aurora gets slapped straight back to reality. Turns out, Carlos wasted no time spilling all the juicy details to Aurora's mom, Julia. Furious, Julia drags Aurora to her room and locks her in, giving new meaning to grounded for life. Meanwhile, Oliver, blissfully unaware of his imminent punishment, returns home. But waiting in the shadows, wielding a baseball bat, is none other than Carlos, who's clearly been binge-watching mafia movies. He sneaks up behind Oliver and ouch. That's going to leave a mark. After this explosive revelation, Julia decides Aurora needs professional help and calls in a psychiatrist. Because obviously, therapy fixes everything, especially secret sibling affairs. The shrink tries reasoning with Aurora, pointing out the seriousness of her choices. But Aurora, stubborn as ever, doesn't really care. She's too busy dealing with the rumors swirling at school, making her life miserable. High school drama mixed with forbidden relationships, truly groundbreaking stuff here. Oliver tries desperately to contact Aurora, but Julia confiscates her phone and tells him to stay far, far away. Clearly, the family's had enough of Oliver's special brand of family bonding.
Cariño,
Later, the psychiatrist revisits Aurora with more uncomfortable questions, asking, "How's Oliver's relationship with your parents?" Aurora reveals that Oliver has always had a terrible relationship with their parents, shocking absolutely no one. When asked about her feelings for Oliver, Aurora admits she genuinely feels comfortable with him, comfortably disturbed, maybe. But deep down, she's resigned to the possibility Oliver may already be gone for good, as she hasn't heard from him in a while. "Oh, Aurora, trust me, you might be better off if he's vanished forever." Seeing that Aurora seems calmer, Julia tries a gentle approach, taking her daughter out for a drive to talk things through. But peace never lasts long in this family drama. Aurora's phone rings. Julia immediately grabs it and sees Oliver's name pop up. Talk about bad timing. Julia instantly goes from 0 to furious, blood pressure hitting new records. Aurora, already on the brink, decides she can't take it anymore. So naturally, she opens the car door, while the car's still moving, and bolts. Because nothing screams rational decision-making like leaping from a moving vehicle. Initially, Aurora believes Oliver has left town, but lo and behold, Oliver finally shows up again, like a bad rash that refuses to fade. Aurora immediately confronts him, pouring out her conflicted feelings, insisting she can't live without him. She's also furious at Oliver for ignoring her calls the other night. Oliver's defense? He was busy drinking at the bar, because clearly, alcohol solves everything. He apologizes to Aurora, as if saying sorry could possibly fix this epic train wreck. Just as Oliver and Aurora are sorting through their tangled mess of emotions, Aurora hears a suspicious noise coming from Oliver's bedroom. Suspenseful music cue, please. Aurora rushes over, opens the door, and surprise, surprise,
Natalia?
there's Natalie, her best friend, trusted confidant, practically her sister, in bed with Oliver right after doing, well, exactly what you're imagining. Friendship goals officially shattered. Talk about going from bestie to backstabber in record time. An explosive fight breaks out. Aurora is devastated, unable to believe Natalie's betrayal. Natalie, however, doubles down, calling Aurora cheap. Wow, Natalie, real classy move. Clearly, loyalty died a violent death in this friendship. Furious and heartbroken, Aurora tells Oliver she never wants to see him again, effectively kicking him out of her life. Good call, Aurora. Maybe a little late, but still, good call. Sometime later, Aurora grows suspicious that Oliver might still be watching through the hidden camera. She approaches the CCTV slowly, deliberately, and picks up a pair of scissors. Then, in a shockingly dramatic move, worthy of a soap opera finale, Aurora positions the scissors threateningly toward her own, private area. Seriously, Aurora, there's revenge, and then there's whatever this island. A few days later, Oliver receives a bizarre package. Curious and slightly terrified, he opens it to find a bunch of carefully clipped hairs. Confused? So was Oliver. He tosses them away, disgusted and puzzled. Only later does it dawn on him the hairs were actually Aurora's, intimate trimmings. Subtlety clearly isn't Aurora's strong suit. Oliver frantically washes his hands, both literally and metaphorically, of the mess he's created. Too late, buddy. We cut to one final scene. Aurora, sitting alone in her room, casually watching Cannibal Holocaust. On screen, a naked woman about to be executed by a group of cannibal men. It's graphic, disturbing, hard to watch. And Aurora? She just sits there, stone-faced, slowly, chewing on a marshmallow, no flinching, no blinking, just chewing. Because after being hurt, watched, and manipulated by the very people who were supposed to protect her, violence doesn't shock her anymore. She's been emotionally eaten alive so many times that watching actual cannibalism feels like just another Tuesday night movie. And there you have it, folks, the delightfully disturbing saga of Sister of Mine. Honestly, what a wholesome family story, right? Just the kind of heartwarming tale you'd watch with grandma on a cozy Sunday afternoon, assuming your grandma's completely lost her moral compass, of course. But hey, jokes aside, what's the real takeaway here? Maybe it's that stalking your stepsister, installing hidden cameras, and spiraling into drug-fueled family chaos is a bad idea? Shocker, I know. Or perhaps it's simply that some boundaries exist for a reason, like traffic lights or expiration dates. You cross them at your peril. But seriously, if there's one thing we can learn from Oliver's disastrous life choices, it's this. Sometimes curiosity doesn't just kill the cat, it completely nukes your life. So now it's your turn. Let me know down below. If you were Oliver, at what point would you have said, Hey, maybe I'm the problem here. Would you ever forgive a betrayal like Natalie's? And seriously, does Aurora get a pass? Or is everyone equally messed up? And as always, smash that like button if you enjoyed spiraling into chaos with me. Subscribe for more cinematic disasters and questionable life advice from yours truly. On a personal note, because why not overshare with strangers on the internet, I sometimes wonder if our obsession with forbidden desires isn't just a distraction from our own painfully mundane lives. Are we really searching for excitement? Or are we just avoiding the uncomfortable truths waiting quietly at home? But hey, who am I to judge? I'm just a guy sitting alone with his cat, questioning life choices at 3 a.m. Welcome to adulthood, folks. Enjoy the ride. See you in the next one, assuming we all survive our questionable decisions till then. Peace out, Max.